Yellow, yellow, everybody. Guess who's back? Well, you guys can hear me. Hello, hello. My voice is usually always a bit rough, but today it's even more rough because, hey Panda, I was sick actually, so sorry I could not join in the last couple of days. Okay, my voice is good. We're finally rolling, and we're rolling. They hate it. Whatever is the song, I don't know. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, I'll stop the song. Hello. On YouTube, one person actually. So one person is watching me. That's good. Not bad. But here we got 3. YouTube? Are you making fun of my accent again? You got me. Okay, I'll give you that. You got me. Okay, so let's get started. Today, YouTube. I don't know, man, how I said it. I have so many friends in different regions. I don't know what my accent is anymore. My accent has been influenced by basically every other accent, at least in English. Even some of my Hindi accent is gone because I've been here for so long. It's crazy. It's crazy. My English accent, my Hindi accent, everything is gone, bro. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are doing well. Sorry I could not join for the last couple of days. I was super sick. But now I'm back and we are going to get started with something interesting. This is my Twitter if you guys want to follow. Naan bread. Yeah, naan bread for life. Oh, we got 2 views. That's awesome. You can see here concurrent viewers basically 1. So basically one person is watching. Total is 2. So somebody else also clicked it. Yeah, and Twitch we have 3, which is amazing. And another great news for everyone. I'm about to reach affiliate today. So today is the day. Today I will reach affiliate. I'm very happy. So thank you everyone for making my dream, making me get closer to my dream every day. I just can't express how much I appreciate the whole community and thank you. So without further ado, right, we'll get, without further ado though, we are going to get started with some interesting stuff called scripting. Scripting is basically what you guys know as coding. When you see those not Halloween, I was hacking scenes in Hollywood and everything, people are typing, things are running. That basically is scripting. And that's what we are going to learn today. And it will be very interesting because with scripts, let me give you an idea what you can do if you understand coding and if you understand how things work, right? I'll show a really quick idea. So let's see if I go Docker pull. Do I have anything good here? No. So let me pull an interesting thing from Docker. There's called a Halloween, hacker, Hollywood hacker. So the Hollywood hacker, Docker. So Docker is one of the ways you can run some programs, right? So I will show you something very interesting. And you can show it to your friends or like, to look cool, this will be interesting to look at. Dr. Demon pipe. Okay, let's look at a fake Hollywood one. This one didn't work. Let's look at this one. And I have to just start my Docker here. Docker is one of the ways you can run any type of program. When you are, let's say, difference between, let's say, if I'm running Windows, you are running Mac, somebody else is running Linux, and you are developing an application, the next AI application, to make sure that there is no difference between you, what system you are running, what system your other friends are running, you are still able to build an application that can run on all of the computers. Docker is the way. I have a bunch of Docker stuff always on my screen. I think this was the one. Okay, I will run this. Blissful. I want to run this file. Cool. So I'm going to show you something very fun. First, we are going to get the image from online, right? Now I'm going to do this. Open terminal failed, not a terminal. Huh. Why it failed? Okay, let's run it this way. Oh, wrong one. So this is like basically getting the image or like the whole software from online, right? Something called Docker Hub. And here I will show you something interesting now. No, wrong thing. Image does not match the hosted prefer. Don't I look cool? Use this. It looks like, oh, I'm doing some crazy hacking thing. My hands are not even touching the keyboard. But I'm hacker. I'm hacker. This is how you hack in Hollywood. Just 2 commands I need and I can run. And this is the fun of like, learning how to hack and how to code and stuff like this. If you understand things, there's so many fun things online that you can do. And that's how this whole thing works, basically. So hopefully this is interesting for you. I will drop some commands. I will drop both the commands here for you. So first command is actually the Docker pull, this one. If you have a terminal, right, you can just get this. I'll just put this. No matter which system you are on, Linux, Mac, or any Windows, right, just download Docker and like pull this in front of your friends. They will go nuts. It's so fun. I have done it like to some of my friends. It's just fun. So here's the command. Just try it on yourself. Just go open a terminal and do it. But we were at Python, right? So just wanted to give you a touch of what you can do with some knowledge of coding and fun things online. There are so many fun tools. We are going to touch one of those fun tools, which is Python. Python is a language very easy to use, honestly, and like build things on. Majority of the things you see nowadays are being built on Python. Even interesting thing is, even Mark Zuckerberg was asked in one of the interviews, hey, if you have to build basically if you have to build Facebook again in today, in which language would you build it? And his answer was Python. And that's how great Python is and how much feature even like a tech like genius can talk things like that. And like talking about Python, it's big. All your AI things are, a lot of those applications are in Python. Just super easy to build things. So that's how I want to touch it. And we have PowerShell, which is Windows way to like reach another level. But we'll start with Python basics. I will go fast over this one. If you have questions, let me know. But once we are done this, we'll go for Python for Pentesters, in which we are actually learning to build things which are harmful if you are not ethical. Basically, if be ethical, right? Test it out. But things like, simple keylogger is something, let's say it's a USB. You can build a USB, put this system in that, and let's say you go to your university's library and there are so many free computers out there, just put it behind that. Nobody will know, and you can get everyone's credentials and everything. So things like that you can do as an ethical hacker to tell people like, hey, there are issues. You need to train people. So, but we'll start with Python basics and we'll fly over this because I'm good with Python. And if you have any questions, let me know. So we have Python here. I'm going to use my own VS Code if I need it, but this is where we'll start. Python basics. First, I will give you guys this as well. So Python basics, let's go. Cool. Write code. Okay, let's see. In this room, you will get hands-on with and learn about the scripting programming language Python. Although programming isn't required to succeed in security, it's a great skill to have as the scripting for Pentester module demonstrates. Being able to program allows you to create security tools and create quick scripts that will aid you in hacking as well as defending and analyzing. Basically, I will tell you, scripting is like such a good tool. It's like, it's a car. You don't always have to go by walk or cycle. You can use a car. That's how much big I feel scripting is. This room will teach you variables, loops, functions, data structures, if statements, and files. You will be using the code editor on the right-hand side to complete exercises and solve challenges. This room will teach you the basics, just enough to give you the knowledge to make your basic scripts, right? If you want to use your development environment to code, download Python from the official website right here. If you go on Google and type Python organization, you will get it, which gives you an IDE to code in. Don't use this IDE, not my favorite. Go to Visual Studio Code. You can get like much better IDE. That's what I use day to day. In programming, syntax is important as it describes the structure of a valid programming language. In the simple terms, syntax tells the computer how to read the code using rules that control the structure of symbols, punctuation, and words of a programming language. Let me explain to you what syntax is in easy words. Syntax, basically think about it as grammar or even punctuations and stuff like that. Because let's say there is a difference, right, between let's eat grandma punctuation. You might have seen this like joke, I believe. Small pictures, man. Holy fuck. So this one, you might have seen it all the time. One is let's eat grandma, right? Other one is let's eat grandma. The difference is of punctuation here, right? The comma. In first one, you're saying, hey, let's eat the grandma itself. And in second one, we are saying, hey, grandma, let's go eat something. So that's the difference. And that's how coding works. Basically, your syntax is basically your punctuation and grammar. Answer the question below. Run what's currently in the code editor by clicking the green Run Code button on the right-hand side of the screen and move on to the next task. So let's run here, run code, learn security with TryHackMe. So write your Python code here, and print is basically going to show things here in the output. Whatever is inside the print will show in here, and says learn security with Python, whatever is written here, right? So let's complete this. Woohoo! Next one. Now we have our hello world. Hello world is a very important thing. I will say it's a culture in if you may in coding languages. Whenever you write something, it has to be called. It starts with hello world. That's like a very basic. And if you don't, you are a traitor. Nobody likes you. But if you do, you're part of the family. To begin, let's create a simple program that outputs some text. This is an example comment, print hello world. As you can see from example code block above is just one line shown on line 2. And when we run this code, it will output the text hello world. Let's break this down. In the example, line 1 is a comment. A line starting with hashtag symbol and is not run by computer. One second. Sorry, let me grab some water. My throat is gone. Awesome. So basically what it says is line that starts with this hashtag. This is an example comment. Comments are ignored by computer Python, for if you may, and they are not like basically they don't exist for Python. So in the example, line 1 is a comment, a line starting with hashtag. That's what it tells. Hey, ignore this. And is not run by the computer. A comment is written by the programmer. You to help you understand, help other people reading the code understand what is going on. It's very important, good if you write script so that you know what was your mindset when you were writing what this function do instead of like going line by line. You can control what is the output of the screen by using the print statement like here, right? If I can do like hola, it will come as hola. Hola, bahar se bola, andar se band ka. Anything inside of the parenthesis will be output. So basically anything inside these parentheses will be output. Sorry, in these parentheses, I mean, those are double quotes. However, because of printing a string, one or more data types later in the room, we will put them in double quotes. So basically, if you want to write a string, right, like a text, it has to be between two double quotes. Or if you are doing a different data structure like number or stuff, you don't have to. Just like, for example, I do comma 22. I didn't do comma actually, sorry. Comma 22. Now let's run this. 22 came, basically. And if I just remove hola, only 22 will come. And that's how the difference between string and basically numbers is. There are much more different type of structures. Please note the rooms examples are for Python 3. There are different versions of Python, just like for Windows. We have 7, 8.1, 10, 11. Same thing with Python. Answer the question below. On the code editor, print hello world, what is the flag? Okay, so if we do hello world, and we have, oh yeah. So the flag is THM print statements because hello world is printed here, right? So let's do that quickly. Copy, paste, done. Cool. The hint was basically the same, I believe. Yeah. Mathematical operators. Let's say it's computer, right? You need to like do calculations, big calculations. So that's what mathematical operators are for. Let's now cover mathematical operators and how they can be applied to Python. Like a calculator, there are operations such as adding, subtracting, multiplication, and dividing. Basically, your calculator is a computer too. Using Python, we can code our calculator. After all, programming is just writing rules on the computer to follow given specific input and conditions. The output below shows the different operation. The table below shows different operations. So we have plus for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, backslash for division, percentage sign for modulus. Basically, what will be the remainder if first number is divided by second number, what will be the remainder? Exponential is basically 5 exponential of exponent 2 will be 25, which is 5 square. If you do 2 power 5, it will be 125. No, sorry, not 125, 32. My bad. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So 32. Now that we know the basic mathematical operators, let's move on to comparison operators. These play a big part in Python and will be built upon when we look at loops and if statements. These operators are used to evaluate a program's condition at particular state. One sec, I'll just write something down. Sorry, I just have to write things down. I will be using this one to create some reels, fun ones, to see if that gives me good response. Cool. So now that we have basic mathematical operators, let's move on to the comparison operators. These play a big part in Python and will be built upon when we look at loops and if statements. These operators are used to evaluate a program's condition at particular state. What it means is, let's say if I want to like create based on the condition, right? For example, let's say if you are in real world, will it rain today? Yes or no? If yes, do take the umbrella. If no, don't take the umbrella, right? And that's what these loops if conditions are, and these conditional operators, because based on the condition, whether it will rain. Am I hungry? If I'm hungry, go eat. If I'm not, don't eat anything. Go do something else. Stuff like that. Greater than symbol, right? If A is A greater than B, is A less than B, is A equal to B, is 5 equal 5, 5 equal 1, is 5 equal not equal 5? It is. So it will be false or true. The result will be greater than or equal to, is 5 greater than or equal to 5? Yes. Is 5 less than or equal to 1? No. So it will be true and false. In the code editor, print the result of 21 plus 43. What is the flag? We can't go here. That's fine. So here we don't have to type double quotes. We can just do 21 plus 43. And this will give us 64. Addition is our new, what's this called, flag. Now let's do a fun thing. What is 142 minus 52? 90. Let's see if we, instead of just putting exactly this, let's see if we can do 90 directly. No, it's looking for the numbers itself. So let's play an interesting game. So 50 negative 52 plus 142. Will it do the answer? Let's see. Yo, it did it. We don't have to type. This is like issue with the TryHackMe system, I believe now, that we don't have to type exactly what they said. Something similar they are looking for, and we'll get our flags. That's what hacking is, right? They're hacking even their teaching system. Print the result in the following, right? 10 multiply by or asterisk multiplication 432. What will be 432 times 2? Will be like, I think 6. Let's see this. 684 times times 2. Let's see. Or wait, let's do one way. 680 times 5, right? Times 5. Let's see if this will work. It did. It did. Cool. So I think it's just working for like a certain number of characters. And then like if there is multiplication happening, is there is asterisk here. I think it will work even if I do paste. No paste here. Okay. Nope, nothing here. So if I do 1, let's see. It works. Basically, it's looking for multiplication and it's looking for like the answer as this. So if I do 2, won't work. Oh, it won't work. 3420 times 2, it won't work because the answer is not same, but because we are able to like look into this and see, okay, 1, boom, it will work, will give us the flag. So it's looking for just multiplication symbol, right? And this is called regex, if you don't know. the program will look, oh, is there a multiplication Python? It's basically looking, is there is an asterisk there? If not, don't do it. Oh, we already done it. Print the result of 5 squared. What is the flag? 5 square is basically 25. Let's see if it does this. You will see it will work. Exponent power, right? So they're looking if I'm doing this or not, and the answer is 25 or not. Maybe we can report this bug to TryHackMe and say, yo, your system is not the best, boss. Cool. Now let's move quickly to variables and data types. How many are there? There's like 10, and we have small projects here, that's fine. We will be able to knock it off before 12 even. So let's see. Variables and data types. Let me know if you want me to cover PowerShell and JavaScript as well for hacking specifically. I'm just going over this over the weekend probably. Either if not going, we will be going over AI, hacking AI on Sunday. I have put the schedule already. If you guys go and see, I'm just not the best with this. Oh wait, I think I know where it is. Stream summary. No. Where is it? I am not the best with this, I believe. Yeah, never mind. It's on Sunday. There is an AI hacking thing I'm doing on Sunday. I'm not best with this. I'm better with hacking than this interface of Twitch. But whatever. Let's go over task 4, variables and data types. This is important. Need to understand data types very well. Data types, to give you an exact answer what it is. For example, right? Different things in your fridge, you store different things in different places because they are of different types and things make sense. Let's say if you are storing ice cream, it will go in the freezer. If you are storing cans of Coca-Cola or something, it will go on the side area. Milk carton, depending on your fridge, goes on side or main. Food, fruits, some different things based on what they are. They will go in different places. Same with the variables and data inside Python, different places, right? So here we'll see that there is variables allow you to store and update data in a computer program. You have a variable name and store data to that name. So basically, I will give, let's say, food as a variable. Variable is something that will hold my data. I can point it to as a human. So I have food will ice cream, money 2000, right? In the example above, we have two variables. Variable name food, this one stores string, which is basically words, ice cream. While other one, money, stores a number, right, which is 2000. Variables are powerful as, sorry, my brain, man. Variables are powerful as you can change them throughout your program. The following example sets the age variable to 30. Then we increase this age variable by 1, making the final variable data 31. Feel free to copy and paste it in the editor, run the code and see the output. Let's do it quickly. Paste. Same thing, 31, right? And if we can just do print here, if you want to know, print age. First it is 30. First it is 30, then it adds 1 and becomes 31. That's how basically programming is. Same as microwave, right? When you set up 10 minutes and then you can add 30 seconds to it, it's 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Same idea. Notice on line 2, we have that we update a variable on the left and we have the already created variable name age followed by the operator equals operator. So age plus 1 goes from like I don't know if you know Japanese ones go from right to left instead of like left to right. In English we do it, and this is the same idea, left to right. 1 plus age, which is 31, goes into variable 1. It's containers. Let me explain in the easiest way format. This is how I think, and even I'm able to solve biggest problems. Think of it everything as containers, right? We have a container age, right? Its value is 30. what it does is like what our operation is like, hey, what in this container, let's say something, let's say age2 is container which is age plus 1. So what is its value? 30 plus 1. We go from left to right, and this is the same thing. And now because we are using age for both, we can remove this guy, and technically this is our whole code. Left to right, 1 plus whatever is inside the age, it becomes 31, and that gets put into age 31. So computer is like, hey, now age is equal to 31. Hopefully this makes sense, right? Let's move quickly. Oh, we got 4 views. That's awesome. Yeah. So here we are. On the right, we have what we are setting the variable to. In our case, the age variable, which is currently set to 30, is being increased by 1, right? Let's talk about data types, which is the type of data being stored in a variable. You can store text or numbers or many other types. The data types to know are string, integer, float, boolean, and list. Basically, there are four ways you can store data, and you can store a lot. Like float is basically a number, an integer is a number, but float is like a superset of integer. So you can store integers in float, but you should not, because it's not a best practice. You should store it properly because it requires extra data in the background. What I mean, on memory by the program. So, for example, Python says, hey, integer usually have, let's say, the maximum value of integer in Python is, let's say, a, a million, right? Right, a million, or let's say 100 for or 1,000. Let's say 1,000. Easy. I will show you a very interesting thing. Why data types are important, and you can use it in competitive programming languages, because competitive competitions. This thinking, because I have cleared some, right? So 1,000. Let's say stores like this: 1,0,0,0. This is integer. Float stores in, let's say, 8. So if I store float, right, it will be in 8 because it is like negative whole and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Now, if I want to store 1,000 again in Python, but in float this time, this was integer. This is float. Again, it's like Japanese, right to left, not left to right. So it will go 0, 0, 0, 1. But these cannot be like left out. So this will also become 0. Basically, what we just did, right? Because if you put like 1,000 in real life too, and you put zeros in front of it, they don't have any value. And that's the reason for integers, you should always use integer variables and values, not float, because this whole thing, all the data got waste, and this can create issues. That's the reason a lot of gaming companies and programmers have effed it nowadays, because we like need always better hardware. We are more requiring more RAM and all those, because these type of things, memory leakage, it's just one of the ways memory leak happens. So just wanted to explain you why you need a better GPU, a better CPU, a better RAM, and all those stuff. This is the reason. So be a better programmer. And when you go to, let's say, I was in AWS interviews, I cleared till like 4th round. They look at it, they talk about it. So if you're looking to go in big FANG companies, this is what they look for. Float, numbers that contain decimal points or for fraction, right? So it should be like 1,000, but 1,000 was like, let's say 1,000.01. Then this is a really good float, is the one to use for, right? Because it will be able to store that value. There are 5 basically we care about: strings, your words, number, whole number, 0 to plus positive numbers. Float or even negative numbers will work. Float is basically decimal points, right? Or fractions, 2 by 3, which is basically an unlimited number, right? Irrational number. Boolean true and false. Again, this is a great example because let's say if you want to just store something as true or false, you don't need like 4 of these or even 8 of these. You just need 1. 0 means it is false. 1 means it is true, right? Just like your switch in your house. When you are asked like, hey, is the switch on and off? You'll just have one of the two answers. You won't say it is in an interesting state. You won't say that. You say, is it off or on? Simple. List is a series of data types stored in a collection. So basically what list is, let's say instead of storing or creating variables, now we are talking about variables, right? Let's say you are in university, right? Instead of saying, creating like every time a student is added, you say, oh, student 1, his number is, or student number is 1. Student 2, his number is 2, right? You don't want to do that. That's when you create a list and you say, hey, this list, I will name it students. And this can have at index 1, and I will tell you about index, a very interesting thing. Basically 90% of programmers don't know, but I will explain you. So I'll create a list and it will all contain numbers, or let's say name. For example, student 1, his name is, let's say, Jazz. Student 2 name is Bill, right? I was storing strings of people. Student 1 is Jazz, student 2 is Bill. Now, instead of writing, let's say if I have thousands of students in my university, I'll create a list and say, okay, index the one at number 1, or actually starts with 0. It will be Jazz. Then it will be Bill. Instead of writing, I just created one variable. It takes care of all the whole student list, and I don't have to keep on creating. I will just add at the end here. And this is big as hell. Interesting thing, and this, take it to your grave. This is like, will make you a better programmer. A lot of people, I have realized when I was even teaching, I was giving tuitions about data structures to some students. A lot of people have this misconception, because that's how they are taught, that index means this. This is not what index means. When say I'm talking about, let's say here, oh, thank you so much for the follow, mate. Thank you. Very interesting thing. I'll show you. So index does not mean this. This is wrong. If anybody says this is index, no. When you talk about index, this line you see, this is your index actually. This is your 0 index. Before the actual data, whatever is, this is your index. So now if you think this is your 1, this is not your 0. This is your 0. This is 1. This is 2. And now if you actually start going through some of your, like programming questions in like lead code, which is like a very favorite mine, lead code, and you want to do some algorithms on how things work, whether merge sort or bubble sort, think of it, this is your index, and a lot of your questions will start making sense. Okay, why things work the way they are. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, fam. And this is how it is. Like a lot of people, I taught some people, interesting story. One of my friend here, he was getting a D in data structure class during the first month of his data structure class, right? Not able to get it. It was hard. So I realized this. A lot of people don't understand these common things because they are not taught. So go home today, look at any algorithm and think about it. Instead of thinking index as this main thing, or let me change this color. Now I'll go here. So index here, this is not your index. This is the data itself. Your index is this, the line, 1, 2, and this is your index. Start going some algorithms, good algorithms, you will learn it. But now let's go more, right? We have lists. So strings like Star Wars, Matrix, Indiana Jones, ratings, right? Rating will be a float number because it is actually has decimals and fraction, right? Decimals are fractions. Integers are basically times viewed. It cannot be like, oh, I only viewed 0.5. You either watch Star Wars or you haven't. That's the thing. Boolean, true, false, right? You don't have to know much, either 0 or 1. Seen by whoever see these people, right? Whoever are the name of the people. In the code editor, create a variable called height and set its initial value to 200. So let's do that, right? You can start the typing the code, right? I guess a good background in C would help understanding this concept deep. 100%, bro. 100%. In use, it's interesting you said that C++ was my first language. And I agree with you. A lot of people starts with Python. In school, this is like easy getaway thing for schools, but they should not. C++ is the way, or C is the way to teach. Once I have kids, that's the first language I'm teaching them. I don't care. They can hate me, but they will love me at one point. That's a good thing. That's a good. I want to. One sec, class. Yeah. This is such a good thing to say. Do you have background in C? Like, how much you have done some coding, big projects? Are you on GitHub? I will love to follow. I want to create something good in C. Right now, I want to learn Python just for the hacking and scripting reasons. In the code editor, create a variable called height and set. So, and you can type your code here. Where I want you to say, like, type your code, and as you are going with me, to see if you are able to do it. Hacker or what? Why? How do you know your kid would want to be coders? I will teach them to be coders. This is from YouTube. I'm getting. I'm going to teach them to be coders, bro. Like, at least I will give them I won't force them, but I will show them. I will encourage them to learn it, because it's just such an interesting thing to learn. It's like learning another language like Spanish or English or anything, right? Helps a lot. But yeah, so let's do this. Start writing your code, and if you have any, if something is wrong, I will test it out, your code, and if it is wrong, you'll figure it out together. That's how we learn together, right? So let's say variable called height. We say height, and value is 200. I made scripts in Python, and the only thing I use C is for decompilers. I recently made a Linux distribution for malware analysis and reverse engineering. Wow. Yo, is it on, are you on GitHub? Or can you like DM me on Discord? I would love to talk about it. So we have done this, right? We set up the variable, but that's interesting, man. If you want to know my Discord, should be here. This is my Discord. I've almost done creating my channel. Oh, Malbian. That's cool. That's interesting, lad. I will pin this. This is important. I will go over this. Thank you. That's interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, let's go over back to our Python, I will say. So here we have height 200, right? We set it up so we can say complete. On a new line, add 50 to the height variable, right? So we can say height plus equals 50. Either we can say this is same as saying, remember how we do comments? Hashtag plus, equals height plus 50. These both are same, this two. Plus equals is like when we do plus, I'll join the Discord. Thank you. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. This is interesting to look into. But yeah, so the reason we do plus equals, plus equals only we do when we know we are adding this value to the same variable we are setting it to. Remember the containers thing I was talking about? Here and the top. Okay, never mind. Here it's not. But here is the container, right? Of height. And if it has a value of 200 and we want to create a new value in it, then only we do plus equals. If we want to create another container, let's say height 2, then we go height 1 or basically this one, which is 200. How do I go that slide? Oh, here. So if we want to set up, then only we'll go with like 50. Then the new one will be 250 and the old one will still be 50 or 200. And that's how the container, think of things as containers whenever you're playing around. It will make easy sense. And we can see our answer here. Print hide. I keep on typing. So you can see HEG is not defined on line 3. What? Oh, my bad. I was like, what? Is that right? So you can see 250, right? Same as here. And if I just remove this one, I will get the same result. There is no indentation is a big thing in Python, so don't worry. 250. Make sure spaces are all correct. That's what's up. So THM variables. Print out the value. We did, and we got our answer. Logical Boolean operators. Here is, I will say it's not hard to know these things, but I have seen a lot of big applications where people have misunderstood this and written wrong code. It's not hard to understand. It's just once you get used to it, right? Logical operators allow assignment and comparisons to be made and are used in conditional testing, such as if statements. For example, here is a very simple thing. You have seen this every day. If weather is rainy, take an umbrella. If weather is not rainy, don't take umbrella. If you are feeling hungry, eat. Simple operations, right? That's how things work. If you have work. If you want to go pee, right? If going to pee, yes, go to the washroom. Simple. Logical operators. There are 5 types here. One is equivalence. If condition A is same as condition on the left, same as condition on the right. If X, a variable like height, equal to 5, is height equal to 250? Yes. Less than is height. It's always true or false. Answer will always come as true or false. Is height or X less than 5? Is X less than equal to 5? Yes or no, right? Greater than equal to, greater than, all these things. For example, when you are going to get money from your credit card, right? Is balance greater than the amount you want to cash out or your payment, right? That's how it is. Or if you go to, anything like basically. Boolean operators are used to connect and compare relationships between statements, like an if statement. Conditions can be true or false. Both conditions must be true for statement to be true. I really don't like the fact it's so small. Sorry, lads, it's just too small. I can't do anything. Boolean operators are used to connect and compare relationships between things. So Boolean is basically, think about this. Is it about to rain today? And am I going out? Right? Both the conditions should meet. If it is going to rain and you're still inside the house, you don't need umbrella. But if I'm going out and it's going to rain, both are matching, then get umbrella. So that's what these operators are, to help two conditions play with each other or like have a connection. Both must be true with the and thing, right? Just like I said, if x greater than equal to 5 and less than equal to 100. So let's say x is 10. Is it greater than 5? Yes. Is it less than 100? Yes. So it will be true. If it is greater than 5, let's say x value is 1000. Is it greater than 5? Yes. Is it less than 100? No. So answer is false. On only one condition and the statement needs to be true, or is like a opposite of and. In and we need like both to be true. In or we just need one of the to be true, either left or right, doesn't matter, first or second condition. A good example, do you guys know a good example of or statement? It will be interesting. So I'm thinking and I know, so let's say I don't know about a good or condition. Let's see. Let's say I want to know. Do you guys know anything like any in the chat? Give me an answer. Like, it'll be nice to know. But let's say for or, right, one condition has to be true. So if student uh if okay, this is a good one. So this has happened to all of you, right? If number of students in the class, right, are 100, right? If there is students in the class, right, that's one. Or is the teacher present, right? One of the two conditions, school will go, right? Not the best example, I guess, but let's see a good example. Or statements in real life. So yeah, or so good one will be lunch. So if there is food in, let's say if I'm hungry, right, and I want to see what can I eat, so or I go to a restaurant, either I will take lunch or I will take burger, or I will take a salad or I will take burger. Even in one of these matches, right? Do you have burger or do you have salad? Oh, we have salad. Sure, I will take that. Do you have we don't have salad, we have burger. I'll take that. Right? Those conditions. Even if one of them matches, whichever one answer is true. If a condition is the opposite of an argument, not is an interesting one. If not, why? So basically, am I poor? Not. Like, can I buy this? I want to buy this car, right? Is is the condition will be, am I poor? I don't have a better answer. Am I poor? No, right? Or something like that. No, you are rich, so I can buy this car. That's just answer. You will see more coming. Let's move on. Let's look at a few Python code examples. A equals 1, right? A is given a variable value 1. If A equal 1 or A greater than 10, is replace A with 1, right? Is 1 equal 1? Yes. We don't even have to look for the second condition because it's or. One has to work. And this is called short circuiting. If the first one is true and it's an or statement, it will print. It doesn't even check the second one. That's how efficiency works, right? If you may. Let me start this in here. Right? So let's print this one. A is either 1 or above 10, right? So now let's look at A as 100 or 1000, whatever. Answer is still same, right? And just to check, I'll change this to 100 and 1090. You see, A is either 1 or above 100. One of the conditions. He's actually a good, this is actually a good module to learn. I don't think I've done this one. Yeah, if you want, I can just send it here in the chat. I like it too. TryHackMe is pretty good. This is under scripting for Pentesters. That's the module name. So now let's look at the second code. Name equals Bob, right? So we are giving a string which is Bob to the variable name, left to right. True as hungry, right? Hungry has the value of true, boolean. If name Bob is Bob equal Bob, yes. So this is true, and so you have to look at the other condition. Hungry equal true. Is hungry value also true? Is true equal true? Right? I want you to think of this as this way. Let me close this all here. This condition, read it as if Bob equal Bob, right? Both are strings, basically. Read at this. Will make your life easy. Is true equal true, right? Is both the same? Yes. So this will be printed. Bob is hungry. Name is Bob and not hungry, right? Not of hungry, because we don't have to type equal false. We know it's not true, so whatever. And else, not sure who this person is, because we don't know if it is not Bob, right? If it is Bob, he's either hungry or not hungry. But if it is not Bob, right, hungry can only have one of the two values. We don't know who the hell this person is. Not sure who this is or if they are hungry, right? Simple thing. Let's see what will be printed. Any guesses what will be printed? 1, 2, 3. Give me an answer. Let's learn this together. 1, 2, or 3, right? I'll run the code. Hopefully you have your answers. Bob is hungry, right? Now let's put Bob as false. Bob is not hungry. Now let's say this is true, but instead of Bob, we say Bobby. Not sure who this person is, or they are hungry. Now, even if we have Bob and we don't say this as 1, if you see run the code, not sure who this is, right? That's how it is. Works again. It what? Oh, never mind. True, right? With 1. This is also hungry because 1 is basically true. And if I do 0, will work, right? I don't know if 10, I don't think 10 will work, right? 10 won't work. So if 1 is equal to true, 0 equals false, other numbers won't work for Boolean. And that's why I was explaining with this, right? Example here. So where is it? Here. So if in the example here, right, I was mentioning 0 is false, 1 is true. This is why. You don't have to type true or false all the time. You can just write 0 or 1. Not recommended because it's hard to read that later on. Now let's go to task 6, shipping project. This will be interesting. Using if statements allow programs to make decisions. They let a program choose a decision based on a condition, right? Below is an example of how an if statement can be used to determine the section of the code which print statement to use. Interesting thing, if I may, right? The way I learned English, somebody taught me English. Somebody taught me Python. Was he told me, and I quote, Python is basically English without grammar. You will see now, right? If Bob hungry is the person named Bob, right? Is Bob hungry? So Python is basically English without grammar. So now let's go over this one, right? And let's talk about this. If age less than 17, you are not old enough to drive. Else, you are old enough to drive. Very simple thing in our life, right? We see this. In this example, if you are younger than 17, the program will output the text, you are not old enough to drive. However, if you are above the age of 17, the program will output, you are old enough to drive. Depending on a condition, in this example, it's the age variable, the program will run different code sections. There are some key components we note from our code example above. The if keyboard indicates the beginning of the if statements allowed by a set of conditions. So basically, syntax, we were talking about the grammar, right? This is what it is. If, then a condition, a question. Basically, condition is a question. If yes, do this. If no, do this. Am I hungry? No, do this. Yes, eat. Simple. And so if a question, think about it, if is used as a question. The if statement is only run if the condition or sets of conditions is true. So there can be multiple questions you can ask, right? In an example, it's age less than 17. That's our question. If that condition is true, example is below 17. The code within the sorry, my brain lagged for a second. Okay, back. So the if statement is only run if the condition or sets of condition is true, right? Basically, it will come up as true only if all or some of them are true based on what we have typed. In our example, it's age less than 17. That's our question. That's our condition. If that condition is true, age is below 17. The code within the if statement runs as per the example. If certain conditions are not met, the program can default to running code shown in else part of the if statement. So else is like not. If yes, if this question, whatever we asked, if it is true, right, our answer is yes, print this. If it is false, print this second one. Else, if this or do this, or like basically not, and then do this. Colon marks the end of the condition if statement, right? Hey, I'm done putting all my condition or my questions. Now, if all the conditions are true, do this. And you see how it tells the difference is because of the indentation. There is space between the next two, and this is how treeing structure, right? Basically, this is kind of a branch, if you think about it. I asked a question, right? Now it will be like a tree is a branch, right? Roots, think of it as roots, right? Yes or no. Now let's say if it was yes, I asked another if question, then it will be two more branches, right? How it will work is, let's say if this is the first condition here, if, and this is the starting of the line, right? This is here, no spaces here. Let me close this guy. If condition 1 and then quotes. Now we will give in tab. Remember, it should be a tab level space here. The next condition will start after the tab. If condition 2, because it's under condition 1. Then again, there is one, this is the second one. So there will be 1, 2. Now the third statement will start. And so on, right? Versus, because after this is the condition 1, remember? And this is 2. The no don't have a condition. So it will be like a pyramid, right? And now here it will come like after condition 1, there is a else, which is of this condition, just one indentation, just like this part, just one indentation. So hopefully that makes sense why there is brackets here. Note the indentation. Anything after colon that is indented is considered part of that if statement or that branch or that root, which the program will execute, right? And that's how it works. So I can have age now as age equals 12. What will be the answer, you think, right? Should be easy. First statement, right? Not old enough to drive. Now, let's say we do 121. Technically, they are just too old to drive, but whatever, if you have a South Park. So that's how it works. And this is called a flow diagram. Really good to draw these things out when you're starting with the program, because your mindset will develop like a flow diagram and it's easy to imagine things now. This coding is like imagining instructions and like writing them down. If statements are essential in programming and will be something you use a lot, 100%. In this exercise, we will code a small application that calculates and outputs the shipping cost of a customer based on how much they have spent. This is like Amazon, right? Like how much they have spent. If they have spent a certain amount, you have to ask them to like either pay $20, $30, or nothing. In the above code editor, click on shipping.py. Let's do that. And follow the instructions to complete this task, right? In this project, you will create a program that calculates the above. Can I make this bigger? Oh, cool, again. So in this project, you will create a program that calculates the total cost of customer's shipping basket, including shipping. If a customer spends over 100, they get free shipping, just like Amazon. If a customer spends less than 100, the shipping cost is 1.2 per kg of the basket weight. Print the customer total basket cost, including shipping, to complete the exercise. So we have basket cost, right, and the basket weight. So let's create if condition. Let's think about it. And I will show you exactly how my brain is already going to think about it. The first condition, if, right, and like it's said in the here, in this one, right, we have this image. We'll do, for questions, we will do diagonals. For whatever is after that, we'll do some triangles, whatever, based on that. Here, and let's use the same color. What is the cost? Is it greater than 100 or not, right? If yes, or if yes, right, free shipping. Free shipping and cost of the basket plus cost of basket. Because they still have to pay for the goods they are buying, right? So the total will be just cost of the basket. Print that. Now, this is not bad. Now is hard, right? Let's go with a better color. I wish there was better color here. Oh, we have. Let's go a bit red. Here, this one. Right? If no, right? In our condition, if no, first they have to pay for the cost of basket. And then we have to calculate cost of shipping. How we calculate cost of shipping? It will be whatever was written here. 1.2 for per kg, whatever is the weight, right? So weight times 1.2. Because weight is in kg, we don't have to do any maths on grams or anything. This will be the total cost. And we can just print this, right? Now we can print these two things. And that will be our answer for this Python basic. So let's do quickly coding, right? And I will show you if, and you have to look at this, like variables has to be same, right? Customer basket cost. Our first condition. No, I'll just keep it here like this. Is it less than 100 or not, right? That's the question. Less than 100. Colon, because our condition is over. It is, if it is, right? Total cost is equal to customer underscore basket. They have to pay for their goods plus whatever they have to pay for per kg of the basket. So let's say if you went to like any store like Costco, you paid like, let's say $50, and the weight of, let's say you got wheat or you got dog food or whatever, is like 30 kg total. So 30, whatever is the, sorry, customer, I'll just copy paste this, man. Customer weight times it's per kg, 1.2, right? And let's print this. Total underscore cost, right? This is our answer if it is less. What if it is more than 100, right? What if it is more than 100? And you see, it has to be tab. It can't be space. It all has to be equal. If I do less, it gives me a red signal. So that's a good IDE use case here. So else, because we don't have to put like, oh, is it less than 100 or is more than 100 or something like that. If it is more than 100, we know what we have to do. Just print. Basically, we will be giving out whatever is the cost of the customer basket. Let's copy this. This will be our answer. We don't have to calculate, just print it out, right? So let's do this. 86.8. 34 plus 44.1.2. That's our answer. But now let's say if it was 134. What should be the answer for this? 134. And so our code is right. If you're doing coding right on the side too with me, and if you want to just have this code, here you go. Make sure of the indentation. There is not all of them are captured properly. But yeah, let's go back to this. You can also have like, to make yourself better, you can have like, okay, if it is negative, how it is negative, that should not even be allowed, right? If they did like what type of coupon they were using. So interesting things, you can make things better with simple code. It misses a lot of stuff. And this is our answer. Is it shipping.py on line 12, right? Using the code editor's hint, change the customer basket variable to 101 and rerun the code. You will get a flag if the total cost is correct based on your code. So answer me this. Tell me, mirror, mirror on the wall, what will be the cost if we have 100? Also, a good exercise is to make the code with if basket cost greater than equal as a, yeah, that's true. That's actually true. So what my man here said, right? A coding practice will be, first we checked the question. We change the question here because it can be cost is less than 100 or cost is greater than equal to 100, right? So both the conditions actually justify our stuff. So he's right. Hopefully it's he, right? My man is right here. And so if you want to do with this, that's also a good way to do it. And yeah, that's actually a good one to do, like to make yourself better. And that's a good one. Thank you. And let's see 101, right? What will be the answer? Now let's go over this. Let's go over our item 101. What will be the answer for 101? I would love to know if somebody can type that. That'll be great. So the question is, on line 12, if our customer basket cost is 101, what will be the answer? So let's do that here. 101 or 101. Run this. It will be 101 because it's 101, right? It sucks for people who are at 99 though. That's sucky. My first app, it's running. Simple shipping cost. Like this is what Amazon has in their database, right? If it is above certain value. And that's another good one to have, right? Another good question to have. If the cost is less than 100 and they are a prime customer, are they a prime customer? That's also another thing you can do, right? Another question you can ask and like make it better. And that's how you will learn coding. And feel free to ask me on Discord if the code is right or anything, right? I would love to help you. In the programming, loops allow programs to iterate and perform actions on a number of times. Sorry. There are two types of loops, for and while loops. Loops are super important. I will tell you this because with loops, this is like if you don't want to write like thousands of code, right? Thousands of lines, this can do, right? Let's say if the answer was print 1 to 100, right? You don't want to go print 1, then print 2, print 3. Make a loop like this, right? And the loop will do that from 1 to 100 for you. And we'll see how. While loops. Let's begin by looking at how we structure a while loop. We can have the loop run indefinitely or similar to an if condition, determine how many times the loop will run based on a condition. So we can have condition on how many times we want to run, or basically, hey, keep running, keep doing something till this condition is met. For example, you go work, right? Or you are at work, right? Keep working. You go start work at 9 a.m. Keep working till the clock hits 5 p.m. Keep working. It doesn't matter if you're tired, you want to work or not, keep working, right? Because the only condition we care about is it hit 5. That's how while loops work. For example, now in this case, I equals 1. I is a variable here. This is containers are very useful, I will say, when it comes to loops. So here we have I container carries value 1, or let me make it better. We have container as I, right? Value inside it is 1. While 1 is less than 10, right? Is I less than 10? Yes, it is. Print I and add value to I. So how it works is, hey, is it less than 10? Yes. Print this value on the screen. Print and add 1. So this is already printed. This has happened. Now add 1 and it becomes 2. Our container value inside our container becomes 2. Then it becomes 3. Then it becomes 4. It keeps on going, right, till it becomes 10. Why 10? Is it less than or equal to? Even with equal to, right, it will work because technically the condition is I is less than 10 because it's less than or equal to, or I equal to 10. If any of these conditions are met because it's less than equal to, it will keep running. So it will go to 10 even and then print one last time and then becomes 11. And that's how it will work. Let's see. In our script, I equals 1, right? Less than 10, blah, blah, blah. Let's run this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So that's how it reached 11, then it stopped. This while loop will run 10 times, outputting the value of the variable I each time it retraces loops. Let's break this down. The variable I is set to 1. The while loop specifies where the start of the loop should begin, right? Basically, it will begin here. While every time it loops, it will start at the top, outputting the value I. Basically, it will start here, right? Outputs the value. Then it goes to the next line in the loop, which increases the value of I by 1. Increases the value, or I should just show here. Then, as there is no more code for the program to execute, it goes to the top of the loop, starting the process again, right? It will go again. So how, if I just post this, right? I'll show you a very interesting way, easily to remember this. We have this really good line. How it will work? It will go to this. It checks this, or better one. It checks this condition is met, goes here, right? Now it goes back. Is I less than 10, right? I is currently at 2. Yes. Keeps going here, print. I is still, I becomes 3. Is it less than 10? Yes. Again, while print, this keeps on happening till it reaches 11. The program will keep on looping until the value of I is greater than 10, right? Less than equal to, which means it should be greater than 10 to break out of the loop. For loop, this is the most interesting one and I use it a lot because it's better to control. And you will see more of this because I think everybody loves for loop more than while loop. It's more comfortable. A for loop is used to iterate over a sequence such as a list. Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable and are created using square brackets. Yes, we are almost at like the end of this. We have Bitcoin project, files and import. So yeah, probably like in half an hour we should be good, Panda. Thank you for checking on. But yeah, let's do this. So lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable like we had students, right? Instead of writing all the students' values, we just go and write just define a student list. Here, like we defined a list of students, Jazz, Bill, whatever, Mark. How we do it? We say students and we create a list by using square brackets, like websites here, facebook.com, google.com. For site in websites, for all the sites in this website, print the site. So it will print all these here, making it better for you guys to see, right? Websites for every site in the websites list. Run this. So facebook.com, Google. So basically what it says, hey, list has multiple items in it, right? For every item, print it. So that's what it's doing for every site in websites. This for loop shown in the code block above will run 3 times because there are 3 websites, outputting each website in the list. Let's break it down. The list variable called website is storing 3 elements. The loop iterates through each element, printing out the element. The program stops looping when it's been through each element in the loop. To give a real world scenario, you could create a program that checks if a website is online or if an item is in stock, right? You would loop through the website list, add functionality inside the loop to check the website, and output the result. The Python for Pentester room shows how to use Python to iterate or enumerate a target, build a keylogger, and scan a project. Interesting. This is very interesting because I will show you very interesting, I think. This is what I use all the time, right? List can be used. Let's say if I have like a password, list of passwords for, let's say, common top 1,000 common passwords. Top 1,000 common passwords, right? There's 1,000 list. And I know if I want to hack, let's say, or if I'm like sending a request to a website and the call is basically, let's say facebook.com, fb.com, and the URL, username. Username, I know, I know it's, let's say for me, right? Hackers Pub. So I don't get into any trouble. And it also asks, and, oh, that's a very bad one. And pass for password, right? What its value is here. Now, instead of typing every single 1,000 password, I can just use this list and a for loop, right? To put this value in and see if person with this username has a very common password. Not going to lie, this like common password is such a big problem. I might get in trouble, but it's okay. Trump, LinkedIn. You are fired. Trump uses a bunch of common words. A guy created a list of very common words of Trump that uses, one of them being you fired instead of you are fired or anything. His password was you, basically you, and then are, and then fired. In 2012, his LinkedIn was hacked because somebody did the same thing. Bunch of common words Trump used, put it out, and this is, I don't like India Times actually. Forbes is much better. Interesting thing to look into, how easily things are calculated. Hopefully you can read this. Yeah, you can read this. So interesting thing, just to, yeah, and bro, he got like his LinkedIn got hacked so many times, his Twitter and LinkedIn, because his passwords were not good enough. Not even kidding. It's like his password are just not good enough. And the best one, sec list. I think it should be in one of my, yeah, it's one of my, look at this one. This is a GitHub, here. This is a GitHub profile. This is guy created such a beautiful GitHub profile with, holy F, so many good passwords. So many good passwords. Usernames are also there. Passwords is the most important one. This is also used, let's say, when you are doing something called subdomain enumeration. Let's say if I'm trying to hack TryHackMe, right? I know their domain is tryhackme.com, let's say. Here, I can use a list to put so many very names, right? Common ones like admin. I can use admin. I can use super user. So many I can use. There are things called GoBuster. This is actually written in Go, right? Go Buster, which is same as Python, they do this. What they do at the back end, user list, and put those names at the back here. Put those names like from the list here, keep putting them, and it will keep on going and look for the results. And with this one, you have malware. You created a malware one, right? I have subdomain, security list password. In the passwords, right? In this password, in the security list, there is so many cracked websites, Wikipedia related password enumeration, so many things are there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. The best one I use if I actually want to go hard on any software, rocku.txt. This thing is a beast. This came from a hack. Oh shit, no, I don't want to download. It's a very big file. I already have it. Rocky.txt is a word list of like these passwords. So many passwords. If you actually want to hack a website with like common passwords, this is the G. This is the G. This is OG. And there's like versions keep on coming out, and actually came from an actual hack of a company called Rocku, which got hacked so badly that they had to close. So just something interesting, that things like these, the list is actually very useful when you're hacking and these things are going in the background. That's why I say you don't have to know scripting and programming as a hacker, but it's very good to know because then you know what is going in the background. So now let's go back. In Python, we can also iterate through a range of numbers using the range function. Below is some example Python code that will print the numbers 0 to 4. In programming, 0 is often starting number, so counting to 5 is 0 to 4. Basically, it doesn't start with 1, it starts with 0, and that's how it works, right? But as 5 numbers, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to start, it will start from range. You can either put two numbers, right? Range is a function. You can either put two numbers. Let's say if I put 1 and 5, it will go from 1 to 5. But if you don't put a number, it will start with 0. And we'll see here. Quickly here. Oh, my bad. We run the code. We see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's say if I do 2, comma. We are giving two arguments. 2, 3, 4. This is the upper limit. Do not touch this. It should not be greater than 5. But start with 2. Don't start with 0. And I can put as like -1, 2. It will start with -1. And if I don't put anything, it will start with 0. It's a great tool if you're doing lead code and want to get into Amazon and all those stuff. Python, you can play around and code so fast. On the code editor, click back on the script.py tab like we have here, and code a loop that outputs every number from 0 to 50. So now instead of going for loop, right, or what's it called? I mean, basically a while loop, right? Instead of going for while loop or like writing things down, right? For 50, we can have like, you can put your answers in the chat, right? It will be nice to see some answers and some follows if you like me. If you don't, that's fine. But here, 0 to 50, we have to type, right? 0 to 50. So we don't even have to type a number here. We just have to type this as 50. It will do the code 0 to 50. Oh, sorry, 0 to 50. So let's say I think this wants 50 included. Yeah. So it wants 50 included. And same as writing 0, 51. Still same answer. And that's our answer, lads. Here, the flag. Cool. Now the Bitcoin project. This is an interesting one. Let me just drink some tea. After the fever, my throat is so badly gone. It's unbelievable. But introduction to functions. As a program starts to get bigger and more complex, some of your code will be repetitive, right? So for example, let's say, give you an example of how it can be repetitive. Let's say I created a subdomain enumeration, right? Or a password hacking file, right? I don't want to keep on writing this list and password 1000, blah, blah, blah. What I will do, I'll create a function and I will name it, let's say, password hacking. Password hacking. And what I will do is I'll give it the name of let's say I will give it the name of the website which I want to hack, or I can just give it the name of, yeah, I'll just give it the name of website I want to hack. And this function will have what's this called, all the 1,000 passwords, and this hacking string, right? API call, it's called API call to Facebook or whatever website it is. And this website will go here. So I don't have to write for different for Amazon, different for Facebook, different for Google. One function will hack all just because I'm able to give it all the websites. And that's what function is. So, and this is what you think of when robots are doing something, right? That's what robots are doing, something repetitively. Automation, if you may. Writing the same code to do the same calculations, and this is where functions come in. A function is a block of code that can be called at different places in your program, right? So you could have a function to work out a calculation such as the distance between 2 points on a map, or output the formatted text based on certain conditions. For example, Google Map, you want to know different distance between your current place to the destination you type. Instead of writing all the code again and again by Google employees, they created a function. You give him the point 1, point 2, answer is there. Having functions remove repetitive code, as the function's purpose can be used multiple times through a program. So define, say hello. Let's look at this code. This one. What this code is saying. So define is basically used to tell, hey, defining a function. It's called say hello. Function name is say hello, and it takes name as the parameter or argument. Print hello name, nice to meet you. And let's say print say hello. It will be Ben, and there is exclamation. So name is replaced. Nice to meet you. This is what happens when you are, like, let's say, opening Outlook or Word or even your Windows, right? This is what it is. So let's say if I want to type my name, I can change this to Hackers Pub. Boom, change. That's how functions are basically. Helps you so you don't have to rewrite code unnecessarily all the time. There are some key components we can note from this function. DEF, keyword indicates beginning of a function, define. The function is followed by a name that the programmer defines and is a function parameter. In our example, it's called hello. So basically the name of the function. Following the function name is a pair of parentheses that holds input value, basically our argument. Data that we would pass in the function in our example is called name. Then it's colon, which defines, just like if condition, right? Hey, start the function from here. Whatever is inside here is part of this function. Marks the end of the function header, not the function, the function's header. In the function, notice the indentation. Again, just like if, we have extra indentation. Similar to if statements, anything after the colons that is indented is considered part of the function. A function can also return a result. See the code block below. Here, define calculate cost item. Basically, whatever is the item, is it sweets 3.99, oranges 1.99, 0.99 otherwise. If it is sweets, 3.99, orange 1.99, blah, blah, blah. Spent. Spent is equal to spent plus calculate cost of sweets. You have spent string whatever. Basically, it's going to print out whatever 10 plus 3.99. So it will be 13.99. Basic function. If we call the call cost function and it passes sweets as the item parameter, the function will return a decimal number float. In the above code, we take variable called spent and add cost of sweets through calculate cost function, where we call cost. It will return the number 3.99. That's actually interesting. There should not be 10, it should be 0, I believe. So I'll just mark it. and I will send it to TryHackMe's team. Try the questions below. You are interested in Bitcoin and want to write a program that tells you when the value of Bitcoin falls below a particular value in dollars. Very interesting, because if you are into stock trading and all those stuff, you will see this is a function actually used. In the code editor, click on bitcoin.py. Okay, here's our function. Write a function called bitcoin to USD with two parameters: Bitcoin amount, the amount of Bitcoin you own, the Bitcoin value in USD, the value of Bitcoin in USD. The function would return USD value, which is your Bitcoin value in USD. So basically we'll tell, hey, we have 1 Bitcoin, we have 10 Bitcoin. What is the value of 1 Bitcoin? Let's say if we say we have 2 Bitcoins, rich as hell, and we say it crossed 100,000, right? So that's 200,000 should return. Return USD value, which is your Bitcoin value in USD. To calculate this, the function in the function, you times Bitcoin amount variable by the Bitcoin value USD. Basically multiply these, right? Start the function. That's fine. So we have investment. This is our total Bitcoin and USD value. And I'm just going to copy this because they want, here's the thing. They want us to write it. Okay. So first we define this function, and let me make it even bigger. First we define Bitcoin to USD. Basically we have to return. So we type return. And we just multiply these two values. So I'll just copy here. And I can replace comma with asterisk. That's the job, boss. Right? And I can just print for us too, but let's say, does it print anything? No. So let's say the print value, print this whole thing. Oh, nobody's calling this function limit. You have to call the function too if you create something. And so I type and I give it these two values. And here there's a comma. And this should become a parenthesis. So basically here I defined the function and now I'm calling the function. I get the value. So 1.2 times whatever is the value is 40,000. So that's our answer. Basically 20% of 40,000 is 8,000, right? So that's our answer for this. So we know our function is working correct. Now let's look at the second thing. Once you have written the Bitcoin to USD function, use it. Okay, what it says here. Once you have written the Bitcoin to USD function, use it to calculate the value of your Bitcoin in USD, and then create an if statement to determine if the value falls below 30,000. If it does, output a message to alert you via print statement, right? So basically we have to now write another function. Let me explain, because I also got confused while reading for a second. So value of Bitcoin in USD, we have to calculate, keep on calculating. If this value goes below 80,000, Bitcoin's value, then return Bitcoin, use it to calculate the value of your Bitcoin, our Bitcoin. So instead of 48,000, it goes below 30,000. Then it should return. So the function to calculate the investment is below 30,000, right? So we define another function, define. So what we should name it, like any good name. Use it to calculate Bitcoin below, let's say, threshold. Calculate, right? That's a good name. So we take two values. We actually take three values in this case. And then we say threshold value as well. because our threshold value is like 30,000, right? It's important to just modularize all this so that if threshold value we want to change, we don't have to rewrite the function. So if this, whatever is this value, let's say, I put this also in a variable container, think of it as containers, right? So let's say total, call this function, right? Great. Now I create another one here. If total less than threshold, because it said below the 30,000, if it is less than threshold, print. What do we have to print? Via print statement. If it does, output a message to alert. Basically, let's say alert value less than 30,000. So this is our function. And now we'll just call the function to just see if our answer is correct. Okay, so we'll just call this function and do this. We'll give it a value of 30,000. Bitcoin amount is not defined. Wait, what are these values then? Investment in Bitcoin and Bitcoin to USD. Okay. This is like 1.2. This is 40,000, right? Yes, Python code output, right? It gives us the output of alert, right? Bitcoin investor. We wrote the code. Now, one Bitcoin is now worth 24,000, right? In the code editor on line 14 here, Bitcoin to USD, we put it 24,000. Update the Bitcoin to USD variable to 24,000 and see your Python program recognizes that your investment is below 30,000. Let's see. Alert value less than 30,000. Yes, it does. So that's good because I think it will become 24 and then 2.4 and 2.4, 4.8. It will be 28.8, I believe, right? Let's see quickly. Let's do a maths. I'm right? 24,000 times 1.2 should be 28.88. Yeah, 28.8. See? Yo, I'm Indian. I'm Indian, man. I have to be good at maths. Or my parents will disown me. It's true though. Like I got my ass whooped as a kid for maths. I'm happy about it. On stream, a lot of people are not seeing me like being an idiot. So that's good. That's good. Okay. Files. This is an interesting one. If you remember, right, like rocky.txt, I was giving you the example. Instead of writing the whole list, we can have a file and we can just upload the whole file in Python to do all our password testing for us, right? Or the brute force. So that's what files are for. In Python, you can read and write from files. We have seen that in cybersecurity, it's common to write a script and import or export it from a file, whether they can be as a way to store the output of your script or to import a list of hundreds of websites from a file to enumerate, right? Let's dive straight into example. Let me give you an example of enumeration. Why I keep on talking about enumeration, because a lot of time things are just not well written. Misconfiguration is a very big problem in tech world. And if you want to see things, let's say if you want to check out any website, right? Give me a website name. Let's say I don't want to go for a big one. Do you have any? Oh, DeepSeek. DeepSeek, right? Here is a website. I can, let's say, I want to, Google will go over to show that, hey, what are all the pages on DeepSeek, right? It will has its crawler. But DeepSeek wants to tell that, hey, I want you to go over these pages and not these pages because these are personal pages. I don't want anyone to see them. How they do that? Robots.txt. Majority of the websites have this file, robots.txt. This one, I don't know if it does not. That's fine. Let's say TryHackMe does. TryHackMe does, right? And it shows, hey, disallow. Do not go on the voucher one. Do not go on the path outline intro to cyber, path outline in beginner, right? You're not allowed to go this. Rest, you can go on any of these. That's how hacking starts. So I can enumerate over these now and look into something. Let's say I don't want to do it. I might get banned, but just giving you an example. And that's where I can upload a file with like so many more enumeration. Instead of like voucher after voucher, I can have like bunch of numbers, random numbers, and boom, like I can see what are the vouchers there. But we should not, as an ethical hacker, we should not do that. To the file, we use built-in open function, and the R parameter stands for read. So we use open as one to open the file. We give it the file name, or actually the path. R is for read, W is for write, and is read and is used as we are reading the contents of the file. The variable has a read method for reading the contents of the file. You can also use the read lines method and loop over each line in the file. Useful if you have a list of each item in a new line. In the example above, the file is in the same folder as the Python script. If it were elsewhere, you would have to need to specify the full path, right? That's what I was talking about. So if it is in the same folder, same directory, just give the file name. If not, you have to give the full path, or relative path should be fine as well. In the example of above, file is in the same folder as the Python script. If elsewhere you have to specify the full name, you can also create and write files. If you're writing to an existing file, you can open the file first and use A to in the open function after the file name call, which stands for append. So basically at the end, just keep on writing. If you're writing a new file, you use W to write instead of A. See the examples below. So open demo file.txt, append to an existing file. A is for an existing file, and you keep on adding at the end. The file will include more text. Demo 2, creating and writing a file. So you start creating a new file. Notice that we use close at the end. It's important to close, because then if you don't, this is where memory leak is a big problem. Another thing I was talking about when, if you have noticed, if you were from my era of gaming, which was 15 years back, you would notice like you didn't need a lot of heavy computational GPUs, CPUs to run a game like Vice City or San Andreas. But now you do, like GTA 5, because of these things. They don't close this function. And because if they don't, that memory still stays in your system, and it needs more and more memory all the time. It's called memory leak. They should close it. It's a good security practice. And if you want to go more deep into memory leak, and interestingly, bunch of hackers I know, like actually not bunch, but like some really good hackers I know, came from gaming developer who were developers for gaming companies. Use this problem in a lot of gaming games to hack and get a lot of big bounties. And cannot name because I will get like in trouble. But yeah, just take memory leak and like look at some of the hackers who use memory leak or even RCE to hack. So 2 interesting words to look for. In the code editor, where Python code, write Python code to read flag.txt file. What is the flag in the file, right? Now let's do that. So we have flag.txt. Let's do this. We have f equals open. And now we'll give the name flag.txt, comma, I think R, that's it. Now we'll go with like, let's say read, not here, it's open and then read function. In this case, both will work, read line or something. So we'll print f.read. And simply, here is our answer. File read. Boom. Imports. Our last task for the day. So kudos to everyone who was following. We are here at task 10 in Python. We can import libraries, which are a collection of files that contain functions. Think of importing a library as importing functions. You can use that. So what it means, right? Importing, if I have to give you a very simple example. You have a car. You have a car. You are like, let's say, Audi, right? Audi doesn't create its own engine. It creates its body and stuff. It imports the engine. Outsourcing, right? Think of it as outsourcing. It imports the engine. It doesn't create its own tires. It imports the tires from Apollo, right? Or good tires, whatever is the name. That's what importing is. If somebody else has done a way better job than you, because let's say if you, for example, operating system or web browser, you don't create your own web browser. You download it from Google. You want to create your own extension to read out things raw. Instead of creating your own, you can, unless until there isn't a good one you like, or it's not doing the job, or you want to learn, right? Those are different cases. But in normal case, you go to web browser, web store of Google Chrome, and you can import these extensions. That's what importing is. When you're writing Python code, right, you can just import so many good libraries out there to do the job for you, and you can build on top of it. You got tires, you got engine, you got a body, or like, sorry, you didn't have a body. You build a body, you build a more aerodynamic body, and you create your own Audi, right? That's what importing, power of good imports and understanding imports is. Outsourcing, basically. In Python, we can import libraries. You can't see YouTube live. Wait, nameless monster. Hey, oh hey, oh, my Discord channel. Yeah, sorry man, it is there. I just didn't see it. Sorry. I'll type my Discord channel again. Apologies. Here, apologies, mate. I will be looking at YouTube more. Sorry. It was just my Twitch was in front of me, so that's why. Apologies, man. Nameless monster. I love the name though. That's actually pretty cool. See, apologies, and I will start again, right? So here, we are at, think of importing a library as importing functions, right? Elo, hey Ghost, how's going? Nice seeing ya. So, importing functions. We wrote a function, right? We wrote a function about calculations, right? If you want to create a calculator. Now, you don't even have to do that. You can import a calculator function from somebody else who has written through a library. For example, there is a date library that gives you access to hundreds of different functions for anything date and time related. If I want to, let's say, have date. No apologies. You said you want to set up this. Oh, yes, the channel. Yeah. I'm working on it. This Sunday, it will be up. I was actually sick for last 3 days. That's why you can see my throat is actually pretty bad, and I have my tea even at 11, so I can talk. Here you can see, I don't know. But yeah, so my channel will be ready on Sunday. I'm going to make a big post about it. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. So yeah, anybody, it will be a community channel. Everybody learn together, and whatever you would like me to talk about in the Discord channel, I would love to talk about it. And yeah, if you have any suggestion, any premium room you want me to do on TryHackMe, you can just give your suggestion. I will do it. As the community likes, I will have full respect for the whole community, and I'll do that. Okay, sounds good. Happy. Sunday is the day we are launching our Discord channel. So let's go back. So date library, that gives you access to hundreds of different functions for anything date and time related. Let's say you have a date, right? You want to do a date. You got the date from the system, blah, blah, blah. You want to reduce one day or reduce couple of hours. All those type of functions are there, right? For example, let's say you have you are a HR person. You started an application and you put an end date in the function, upload function, or wherever your application, wherever you apply for application of this, let's say job, you put like, okay, deadline is this, and you stop it. So those type of functions, uses of date and time is there. We import other libraries using import keyword. Then in Python, we use that imports library name to reference its function. In the example above, we import datetime, right, library with the import as the keyword, right? If you see, this is actually like in blue, so it's a keyword. We import other libraries using import keyword. Then in Python, we use the imports library name to reference its functions. In the example above, we import datetime here, then access the .now method by calling library name, method name. So library name, method name, and now. So now method. Copy and paste the example above into the code editor. So let's do that. I will remove this. So our date we got, right? 22nd of February 2025, 46. So basically 00 is midnight, 46, 27, and this is the almost 2 nanoseconds they're giving. That's crazy. But this, if you don't know, this is called IST string. Very useful, especially if you are want to, let's say, you have doing some concerts, right? Not IST time, IST string. It's called IST string. Here, this is kind of a very general format in coding or tech. But yeah, so this is how you create, import, use a function, and just print it out. Here are some popular libraries you can find useful for scripting as a pen tester. Simple HTTP library to create a HTTP server. Scapy, send, sniff, dissect, and forge network packets. This is like network Wireshark. This is Wireshark. You can send network, sniff. Basically, let's say if you go to a coffee shop, create your Python code, it will be sniffing everyone's traffic. Don't do it for ethical reason. Just do it for ethical reason, nothing else. Forge network packets. So let's say if I want to do a DDoS attack, right? If you know something called anonymous, they are very popular for their DDoS attacks. So I don't get caught, my IP don't get caught, I can forge my IP address. Let's say if I'm sitting here in Canada, I can forge an IP address to Jamaica and start hitting a company, or like have multiple IP networks, right? I can do that. This Scapy can do it. I'll copy. Interesting one I'll show you regarding HTTP, because they mentioned HTTP. This is also my man Ghost is here. I love it. So, Pawn Tools, a CTF exploit development library. Another good one. Actually, I haven't checked this one, so I will check this. But interesting one, I will give you something. Oh, it's not here. Interesting one. Actually, I was looking into, and it came on to my I was doing so much research on here. There was one really good one for HTTP stuff I found. AI prompts is one big one. You can just basically use AI and all these ones for your hacking. I'm just looking for that one if it catches my eye. I have it open. I was looking into it a couple of days ago. Wanted to hit more. No, never mind. Sorry, I don't have it. I will send it in the next. I will have it ready. But it was like to forge HTTP headers. Oh, I might have. Headers. Yeah, HTTP header exploit. This one. A very interesting one, actually. Because this is not, a lot of people don't usually hack through the HTTP headers, but It can be done, very unlikely, and that's why it's very important to know this, because a lot of people won't even know this happens, so they won't have this thing in their security defense mechanism, right? Many of these libraries are already built into programming language. However, libraries written by other programmers are not already installed in your machine. Can be installed using something called pip, which is Python's package manager. Let's say you want to install Scapy, which allows you to craft your own packets in code and send them to other machines. You can install it using the command pip install Scapy, right? After which the program you can now import Scapy library, and that does the job. But here, something interesting: Python.org. Here you can find all the things you need. So many libraries will be mentioned, right? Python.py, you can search for project, like I can have Scapy. Scapy is here, right? I know I can get more information about the developers who are maintaining this. You can also contribute to this, which is amazing. And Python.py is basically, or Python.py is your good go-to tool for this. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? Like I didn't realize like they actually put some good effort in their Python basics. So hey, we all did it together. This is interesting. But yo, Sunday there will be a AI hacking thing. We will be going over the AI hacking place I found, a teaching place. And then also on Sunday, I'm releasing my Discord channel, like my man mentioned here during system admin, right? And Monday, we will be covering, we covered our Python basics. Now we will be covering Python for pentesters. Won't be able to do it one day like we did today, but it will have something called subdomain enumeration, things I talked about, directory enumeration again, right? Like if you want to, if you are able to get access to something, really like every single one of these is actually like a proper attack. So we will go a bit more detail into this, right? And over the weekend, if you want to see, here is the stuff. And great news, lads, great news I have for you. I am about to hit the average, like I'm about to hit, thanks to you guys, I'm about to hit affiliate, right? So to celebrate that, I will be giving away certain, if you want, like, which one do you prefer? Do you want TryHackMe or you want Hack the Box memberships? Whichever you prefer, right? Let me know, right? In the Discord channel, I will be giving a couple of them for free because you guys helped me make my, like, it's a big dream to be doing this for life, my hacking since grade 8. So thank you so much for everyone. And I will be giving away certain free, what's this called? Sorry, certain subscriptions for free. So please do that, right? And let me know if you want me. I like HTB a bit more. Sure. I will have then in the Discord channel, right? I will have HTB as well as TryHackMe, both subscription ready for you guys. Okay. But thank you so much. Like for everyone who joined, right? I know this time works better for a lot of people, so I will start doing more on this time. But till then, thank you. Have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining. Love you. Bye. Da-da-da! And our bye. Wait, my bye is not coming. Refresh this. Now it's coming. Bye. See ya. Have a good one, lads.